Hello, and welcome to another episode of the Tejano Traveler. I'm your host, Wally, and today we are southeast of San Antonio, Texas, in Panna Maria, Texas, to look at the newest Polish Heritage Center just built there. Now, this museum celebrates Polish immigration, which Texas is the home of, which started back in 1854. Here you see some of Poland's most famous saints, Saint Cyril and Methodius, who were brothers. They did a lot for the Slavic community in that area of the world, plus some of the other saints that are special to the Polish people, such as John Paul and some other ones. I'm not sure who this guy is, but I think he was one of the bishops there. And Saint Hyacinth, which we know of here in Texas as San Jacinto. And this very famous Virgin of Mary, which has a scar on her face. It was carved there by some crazy guy, and they tried to fix it and they never could, so they just made it part of the old painting, which is pretty cool. But the museum, other than showcasing some of the important saints, does have a pretty cool history section to it. I'm gonna get all that stuff to read. It's amazing. It tells you about what was going on in Poland at the time and some of the factors that led to the immigration of the Polish people and how they have survived here in Texas and in the United States since the 1850s. So it's pretty cool interpretation of what's going on. Really glad it finally opened. COVID sort of held them back for a bit. But they have here some crates and gives you an idea of what they would bring. And this is what people looked like back then. And this Mexican guy is kind of suspect. I mean, come on. Seriously. Anyways, that's what the Polish people look like. They told them they would stand out, and they sort of did. But there were plenty of cultures here in Texas at the time, so they did their best to get along and get moving. And then there's the first mass that they celebrated on Christmas Eve to celebrate their arrival to the New World. I myself like this exhibit. It's a whole bunch of photographs of different people. But you walk around, you get to learn a lot about the Polish people and learn about the difference between Kotula and Kotula, who flipped a coin to see who would keep the name spelled correctly. And here we see some of the other Polish churches that are around the area, in case you're interested in that. And there's the famous Father Moczygemba. Father Moczygemba was Polish. He had originally come in 1852 to serve the Germans, and he realized that this was a pretty cool place for some people to come. His lineage extends into other family members that also came here. He was considered a failure of sorts, so he sort of moved away to Chicago. But what he started here in Panna Maria sort of started the rest of the immigration in Texas. And here in Panna Maria, which means Virgin Mary, is where they built their Catholic Church, the Immaculate Conception of the Blessed Virgin Mary. This statue is also new, and it's got some of the symbolism belonging to Mother Mary and everything. And here is where they re-interred Father Moczygemba. They took him from Detroit after he was buried there for a while, and they interned him here, which is, I guess, where his final resting place is going to be. Like I said, he was sort of considered a failure at the time because he failed to really get most of the people gathered together. And there was a tree where they celebrated their first mass. But what had happened was that they had all met together to discuss what was going on, and a lot of people were not happy. So they made peace with each other, said this is it, this is going to be a good place. And as soon as they finished that, a rattlesnake fell off from the rafters, and people were like, yeah, nope, this isn't a good place. So that's why Panna Maria today is just a pretty small, tiny little town. But it did kickstart the whole immigration wave in the United States, and Father Moczygemba went on to Chicago and had success there, and Polish Americans are a part of our history and our culture, so they are here. But you can come here and check out the church. It's a beautiful church. We've got a replica of the Virgin Mary with the scar on it. It's an amazing place to just go and sit down and think about life. I myself like it. I've been here about 4 or 5 times. Anyways, I hope you've enjoyed this view and this little history lesson on Polish Americans. And I hope you like and subscribe and leave a comment. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye.